All right, welcome everybody. This is our May 11th, 2021 regular meeting of the Mason County Commission. Commissioner Schutte, would you do us the honor of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pleasure, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Item number 4 is correspondence and organizational business. Do we have correspondence to come before the board today?
We do. The Economic Development Council of Mason County sent in the 2021 first quarter report. The County Road Administration Board sent in a notification of reimbursement. Andrew Harold sent in a letter regarding property on Harstein Island. And Planning Advisory Commission District 3 sent in an application from Bob Wilkerson.
Thank you. Item number 4.2, National Correction Officers and Employees. Kevin, was that you?
Sure, I could read it.
Okay.
National Corrections Officers and Employees Week proclamation. Whereas the Mason County Sheriff's Office is committed to maintain custody, security, and control of the county's jail in a safe, efficient, and constitutional manner. And whereas correctional employees are unseen and often unappreciated, dedicated professionals who chose a career as community servants, who manage a diverse group of individuals, some of whom are violent, mentally ill, and dangerous. And whereas correctional employees are an indispensable part of law enforcement, they keep our community safe and put themselves in harm's way to advance a mission of protecting the public, staff, and inmates, while at the same time helping offenders to change their behavior to become better human beings. And whereas in 1984, then President Ronald Reagan issued a proclamation calling upon the country to pay tribute to corrections professionals, this proclamation created a week of commemoration of the work done by correctional officers. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Mason County Board of County Commissioners proclaims the week of May 3rd through 9th, 2021 as National Correctional Officers and Employees Week in Mason County, adopted with the highest degree of respect this 11th day of May, 2021.
Thank you very much, and we are all in their debt. Next up is item number 4.3, Peace Officers Memorial Day and National Police Week. Kevin, was that one you brought forward?
Yes.
Would you please do us the honor?
Proclamation for Peace Officers Memorial Day and National Police Week. Whereas Congress and the President of the United States have declared May 15th, 2021 as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which it falls as National Police Week. And whereas there are approximately 900,000 law enforcement officers serving in the communities across the United States, including the dedicated members of the Mason County Sheriff's Office, Shelton Police Department, Skokomish Indian Tribe, Squaxin Island Indian Tribe, Washington State Patrol, Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife, Washington Department of Corrections, and other state and federal agencies. And whereas the members of our law enforcement agencies play an essential role in safeguarding our community, and whereas it is important for all residents to know and understand the duties, responsibilities, hazards, and sacrifices of their law enforcement agencies, and that members of our law enforcement agencies recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting against violence and disorder, and protecting the innocent and most vulnerable among us. And whereas the service and sacrifices of officers killed in the line of duty should be honored, remembered, and recognized during this dedicated week and throughout the year. Now, therefore, the Mason County Board of Commissioners call upon residents of Mason County to observe the week of May 9th through the 15th, 2021 as National Police Week, recognizing all law enforcement officers past and present who, by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities, have rendered a dedicated service to their communities. Be it further resolved, the Mason County Board of Commissioners call upon residents to observe May 15th, 2021 as Peace Officers Memorial Day to honor law enforcement officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community or have been disabled in the performance of their duties, and recognize and pay respect to the survivors of all fallen law enforcement officers. Dated this 11th day of May, 2021.
Thank you, Commissioner Schutte. I want to let the public know the reason why the honor was given to him to read these, although all three of us commissioners agree with this, it was Commissioner Schutte that brought this forward to make sure that they were recognized. I just wanted to make note of that. Next up, 4.4, proclamation, National Public Works Week. Loretta, are you on?
I am here, commissioners. Thank you. So next week, May 16th through May 23rd is National Public Works Week, and this year's theme is Stronger Together. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities, and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Mason County. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Mason County to gain knowledge of and maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2021 marks the 61st annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association, be it now therefore resolved that the Board of Mason County Commissioners hereby designate the week May 16th through the 22nd, 2021 as National Public Works Week. And I urge all citizens to join with representatives of APWA and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and quality of life.
Thank you very much. You know, I want to make note that this is an important day all the way around. You look at our corrections officers, our peace officers, and our National Public Works. People don't realize how important they are, and I'm just so thankful for each and every one of them getting up every morning, going out to make sure that everything works for us and we're all protected. News release, Allen County owned, maintained sanitary sewer smoke testing. Is that Richard?
That is. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
All right. So here we go. Allen County owned, maintained sanitary sewer smoke testing. The Mason County Public Works, Utilities and Waste Management Division will be conducting sanitary smoke testing beginning in early June. Crews will open and enter into the manholes located in streets and public utility easements to pump smoke into the sanitary sewer system to locate breaks, defects, and reveal sources of where storm and other surface water enters the system. The information gained from this testing will be used to improve your sewer services. A special non-toxic smoke manufactured for this purpose will be used for the testing. The smoke has a distinctive but not unpleasant odor. Visibility and odor only last a few minutes where there is adequate ventilation and doesn't leave residuals, stains, or affect plants or animal life. Because the plumbing appliances in your house or building are connected to the sewer system, sanitary sewer system, some smoke may enter your home or place of business if the vents connected to your building sewer pipes are inadequate, defective, or improperly installed. Traps under sinks, tubs, basins, showers, and other drains are dry, defective, improperly installed, or missing. Pipes, connections, and seals of the wastewater drain system in and under your buildings are damaged, defective, have plugs missing, or are improperly installed. All residents are advised that if traces of this smoke or its odor enter your home or building, it is an indication that gases and odors from the sewer may also enter. These can be both unpleasant and dangerous, as well as a health risk to the occupants. Should smoke enter your home or building, please notify Utilities and Waste Management so that crews can investigate the location, identification, and correction of the source of smoke that enters your home or building. Your cooperation during this testing is appreciated. Please call the Public Works, Utilities, and Waste Management Division to notify or ask questions about this testing at 360-427-9670, extension 457.
Thank you very much. Is there any more correspondence or organizational business to come before the body?
No, there is not.
Okay, we'll move over to number 5, which is our open forum for citizens input. This is your opportunity to speak to the commission on any issue that is not on the agenda. If it is on the agenda, we ask that you wait and you'll be given an opportunity to speak at that time. If you do decide to speak, we hope that you would understand there is a limit on time, 15 minutes total for everybody, 3 minutes per person. So we ask that you please be brief. With that being said, again, if it is not on the agenda, this will be your opportunity. I ask that you direct everything to the chair. And remember, only the things that are on the agenda. Please, if you can, raise your hand and let me see that you're interested in speaking. I'm looking at the list. Since I see no hand raises, I will ask if there's anybody in particular that would like to speak, that's not sure how to do that. Please unmute yourself and say your name, and I will call on you. Is there anybody in the public who would like to speak on any issue not on the agenda? Please unmute, say your name, and I will give you a call. Hearing none, we will move on to item number 6, which is our adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move.
Go for it.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of today's agenda as presented.
I will second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of today's agenda as presented. Any discussion or polls? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Item number 7, approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes for March 29th, 2021, April 5th, 2021, and May 3rd, 2021 briefing minutes, and April 27th, 2021 regular minutes.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the March 29th, 2021, April 5th, 2021, and May 3rd, 2021 briefing minutes, and the April 27th, 2021 regular meeting minutes. Are there any additions or pulls? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Next up is our action agenda. All items on the action agenda will be read to the public and will be voted on with one vote, unless somebody from the public or a commissioner asks for it to be taken off for a separate vote. After we read everything to you, you'll be given an opportunity to ask a question that would help you to decide whether to take it off for a separate vote. But if you want to testify or definitely want to just take it off, please just ask us to pull it. We'll make that happen. With that being said, Commissioner Trask, we just put a lot of stuff on Commissioner Schutte to read. So if you don't mind, you and I will split this one. I will read items number 8.1 through 8.9. And if you don't mind, read 8.10 to 8.18. You can take a rest, Commissioner. That was a lot of reading you had to do on the other. Item number 8.1, approval to set a public hearing on Tuesday, June 8th, 2021 at 9:15 a.m. to consider a petition for annexation of additional property into the Mason County Fire Protection District number 16. Item number 8.2, approval to subcontract with Mason County Public Utility District number 3 to provide utilities arrears through the Treasury Rent Assistance Program. Item number 8.3, approval to set a public hearing on Tuesday, June 8th, 2021 at 9:15 a.m. to consider a rezone of a 10.75 acre parcel number 32030-14-90030 from neighborhood residential to mixed use within the Shelton urban growth area. Item number 8.4, approval of warrants and treasurer's electronic remittance. Claims Clearing Fund, warrants number 8079426 through 8079582, the amount $622,225.33. Direct Deposit Fund, warrants number 76980 through 77373, the amount $761,892.05. Salary Clearing Fund, warrants number 7005879 through 700 5903, the amount $537,913.87. Treasurer's electronic remittance, $2,633,645.51. Item number 8.5, approval of the amendment addendum with Alcohol Monitoring Services Incorporated, extending the contract to May 3rd, 2024 for electronic inmate monitoring services. Item number 8.6, approval of a resolution selecting the Shelton Mason County Journal as the official county newspaper for publishing certain legal publications. Item number 8.7, approval to reappoint Lodging Tax Advisory Committee members for a term ending May 31st, 2023. Generators, Sean Tucker and Nate Welch. Spenders, Pam Voles, Heidi McCutcheon, and Dwayne Wilson. Item number 8.8, approval to nominate Jennifer Baria to the Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Board of Directors for an additional 3-year term ending June 30th, 2024. And 8.9, approval of the interlocal agreement between Mason and Thurston counties for the Developmental Disabilities Program millage levy.
Item 8.10, approval of the 2 contracts with Prothman, one for executive search services and one for consulting services. Item 8.11, approval to authorize Public Works to procure, award, and execute a contract to upgrade the Public Works facilities security system and enter into a monitoring and maintenance agreement. Item 8.12, approval to authorize Public Works to procure and execute an agreement for on-call development review services with a maximum payout not to exceed $20,000. Item 8.13, approval to authorize Public Works to purchase and specialized bottomless aluminum box culvert structure for the Homer Adams Culvert Replacement Project, County Road Project CRP 2001 at milepost 0.10 to 0.20 as a sole source purchase in the estimated amount of $170,000 plus tax from Contact Engineered Solutions. Item 8.14, approval to replace resolution number 2021-009 and execute the revised resolution for CRP 2029 Agate Road and CRP 2030 Old Belfair Highway hot mix asphalt overlay projects. Item 8.15, approval to pay Susan Blankenship, Assistant Election Administrator, additional pay for working in a higher class at non-represented salary range 27, step 0, effective May 11th, 2021 through the replacement process plus 2 weeks of training, a new election superintendent. Item 8.16, approval of the agreement with SC Johnson and Son, Inc., the City of Shelton and Mason County for a plastic film recycling pilot program. Item 8.17, approval of a resolution establishing the Mason County Pandemic Exposure Control, Mitigation, and Recovery Policy, and to add it to the Mason County Code. Item 8.18, approval to create, post, and fill one additional financial analyst position in the auditor's office as an interim for succession planning beginning July 1st, 2021, to transition into the senior financial analyst position that will be vacated approximately in May 2022.
Now that all of these items have been read to you in the public, we ask if you have any questions that would help you to make that decision on whether to have it pulled off. Now's the time to please raise your hand. And if you cannot raise your hand, you will be given an opportunity now to please unmute yourself, say your name, and give me an opportunity to call on you. But remember, this is only to ask a question that would help you to make that decision. Unmute now if you have a question. Hearing none, if anybody would like any item taken off for a separate vote, please unmute now and say your name. If you would like an item taken off for a separate vote, please unmute now and say your name. Commissioners, are there any items you would like taken off for a separate vote?
Nope.
Then I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the action agenda as presented, items 8.1 through 8.18.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the action agenda as presented. Items number 8.1 through 8.18. Any comments, commissioners?
I appreciate you reading those agenda items.
Good comment. With that being said, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Next up, item number 9, other business, department heads and elected officials. Are there any department heads who would like to speak at this time, or elected officials? If so, I'd ask you first to please raise your hand. If you cannot raise your hand, then I'll ask you now to please unmute yourself and say your name and allow me the opportunity to call on you. Are there any department heads or elected officials who would like to speak? Please unmute now. Hearing none, we'll move on to item number 10, which is our public hearing. Item number 10.1, public hearing is to consider proposed ordinance with code changes, creating a Mason County Clean Water District and financing mechanism. We will open this hearing. Staff, Alex Pacey will present.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners in Mason County.
Good morning.
Can everybody hear me all right?
Good.
Good. So for decades, Mason County has responded to these state requirements in forming multiple shellfish protection districts in response to non-point pollution sources and downgrades to commercial shellfish harvest area. Today, there are at least 8 shellfish protection districts within Mason County. Management of these districts and coordinating citizen and partner involvement has become unsustainable for a program with no reliable funding sources. Our proposal here includes consolidation of all existing shellfish protection districts into a single district model. Conversion to a single district model reduces administration and reporting requirements, providing a clear path for citizen and partner involvement for our water quality activities. Various funding options to support a more proactive program has been explored for decades, heavily within the last 10 years. Currently, the county program operates on a very reactive approach, bouncing from one grant project to another, investigating and correcting non-point pollution sources in response to degraded water quality. The attached proposal includes an annual parcel fee of $5.06 under the authorities of RCW 9072070, which will fund 2 additional staff and support new services in our water quality program. These services include routine water quality monitoring, improved tracking of known non-point pollution sources, and annual water quality reports for the community. These funds could also be used to satisfy water quality grant match requirements, which expands our current grant opportunities to areas of the county needing additional investigation and water quality work. I do want to take the opportunity to thank our commissioners, partners, and our staff for their support and work on this proposal. I also want to introduce Ian Tracy. He's also joining us this morning, and we are happy to take any questions or discuss any concerns.
We'll start with the commissioners first. Commissioners, do you have any questions for staff?
Mr. Chair, I have a couple of questions.
Please.
Thank you. Alex, appreciate your Ian's work on this. It's been a long time coming. Did have just a couple of questions and then comments for the commission to consider a couple of amendments or changes to some of the language. First, you mentioned an annual report and also the advisory committee. What's the timeline that you anticipate for establishing the advisory committee that goes along with this? And then how do you anticipate putting together the annual report? I know that's part of the work plan, but what are your thoughts on how you'll put that together and disseminate that in the community?
So as far as timeline in our committee, I would like to put that together and start working on that immediately after and if this gets approved. So I would say within the next few months, I'd be reaching out to partners and trying to coordinate those efforts to putting together that resolution that's mentioned in the ordinance to form that committee and what kind of partners and entities we want to have at the table for that committee. So I would say within the next few months, we're going to be working on that right away. As far as the annual report, our water quality program has been doing reports on various projects for many years. And we even have previous reports, where we tried to do these more routinely. So it's nothing that we're not used to or accustomed to, where we would be reaching out to our partners in the CD, DOH, ecology. We'd be using that advisory committee to pull together the resources that everybody's working on that's relating to water quality in our county, and then pulling that together into a routine report for the community.
Great. And then just two things for the commission to consider. Under one of the things that I think makes this appealing is that there is a sunset clause included in it. And so this is a pilot program in that sense, and that we have some time to build it and measure for success. But we also have an opportunity to weigh in on whether or not this is the right direction for the county in a few years. One of the recommendations, and I have to find, it's under 6.88.090 under the fee section. Our language says a reoccurring sunset of 5 years thereafter 2022 shall remain in effect unless said fees are reauthorized by Mason County's Board of County Commissioners. And I would recommend adding into that language about requiring review and reauthorization after, I lost my place, I apologize. Give me 1 second, commissioners. I'm good for at least one of these a year.
It's all good, Commissioner. You're doing great.
After shall remain, add requiring review and reauthorization by Mason County Board of County Commissioners, just to make that a little bit more explicit what that process would look like. And then the second addition.
Let's go back to that one so I can get it clear exactly what we're saying. Please say that one more time slowly and how you would like it put into the verbiage.
Sure. So if changed, it would read a reoccurring sunset of 5 years thereafter 2022 shall remain in effect. Let me go back to my other copy here. A reoccurring sunset of 5 years thereafter 2022 shall remain in effect, requiring review and reauthorization by Mason County Board of County Commissioners.
Okay, requiring review and reauthorization. Okay, I actually like that a lot.
Okay, and then if that's all good, then the second addition that I have is a paragraph 6.88.060. After Squaxin Tribe, to insert Lower Hood Canal Watershed Coalition.
I have no heartburn with that. Commissioner Trask?
I think those are both great ideas. Great.
Okay. Those were my questions and
Okay.
Recommendations.
All right. So commissioners, any other questions for staff before I allow for questions from the public? Hearing none. If you have a question for staff regarding the proposal they've just put forward, or regarding any of the changes that the commission had just requested, now will be your opportunity to please put your hand up on Zoom and give me an opportunity to call on you. Again, this is just for questions regarding their presentation. If you want to testify, you'll be given an opportunity to do that shortly. All right, I have one hand up, Erica, or you took it back down. Is that?
I think I just got clarification. I need to wait to testify. It was just, there's just one detail in the code, Squaxin Tribe to become Squaxin Island Tribe, but I think I need to wait.
No, you don't.
We can do that.
We could do that as a question of, shouldn't it read Squaxin Island Tribe?
But I'll be back for comment. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that has any questions in regards to the presentation or the additions from the commission? If so, please raise your hand. Now, because some people have a hard time being able to find that button and being able to raise their hand, I'm going to give you an opportunity now to unmute yourself. Please only say your name and I'll give you an opportunity to ask your question after I call on you. If you have any questions regarding the presentation or to the commission regarding the changes, please unmute yourself now and say your name. Hearing none, we will move on to close the presentation and move on to testimony, public participation. This is your opportunity in the public to testify to the commission regarding this issue, how you feel about it, and what you think. Again, there are a lot of people present, and it's not always the best thing to rehash on things. But if you'd like to speak with the commission, now is your time. We ask that you please keep it strictly on topic and short, if at all possible. With that being said, I'll give an opportunity first to those who raise their hand so that I can call on you so you can testify regarding this proposal. Jean Frost, please unmute yourself. Thank you.
Good morning, commissioners. I'm Jean Frost. I represent the Washington State Department of Health Shellfish Programs, and I just want to make a statement in support of Mason County for establishing a Mason County Clean Water District. It is very important for safe shellfish harvest to have clean water in Mason County. Mason County has over 24,000 acres of marine waters that are open for commercial shellfish harvest, and this is ranking 3rd in the state. And so I just want to reiterate the great work that Mason County Community Health, Alex Pesey and Ian Tracy and others, other community partners and citizens of Mason County are doing to improve water quality and protect water quality in Mason County. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Bill Dewey.
Yeah, good morning, commissioners.
Good morning.
So good to see you all virtually as it may be here. So I also provided some written comments, so I won't be redundant here, but I just wanted to join you this morning and speak in strong support for adopting this ordinance. This is a long time coming, I think, for Mason County. As Alex mentioned, it's something that's been discussed for a number of years. I spent a couple of years myself on the stormwater task force that came forward with recommendations to do this. And so really pleased to see it back before the commission, and thank you all for your leadership in working on it and bringing it forward. You know, we as a company, Taylor Shellfish, has farms in a lot of different counties, and counties that have established these local assessments to support a base non-point pollution program it's just been so critical to stopping the cycle of downgrades and then a long process to get grants and do the upgrades. It's just so important just because of the nature of non-point pollution to have that dedicated staff and program as a base. So thank you for considering it. Also related to the annual report, something that I wanted to urge, Alex didn't speak to this. Commissioner Schutte, you asked how it would be distributed. I would encourage you to make it available to the public and be very transparent about how you're spending the funds from this assessment. And I think that'll go a long ways to maintaining community support for it in the future. So I've seen that certainly work in other counties, really important aspects. So that's all. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Bill. Erica.
Good morning. All right. Thanks for letting me speak. Okay, just wanted to say from the Squaxin Island Tribe Natural Resources Department, from the tribe, I just want to thank Alex for his big picture thinking, and just think that approaching this countywide is the most efficient way to do it. And I'm excited about the thought of having this program. It can keep someone like Ian Tracy, one of your diligent staff, funded and consistently on track. Also, the letter that Natural Resources delivered to you is really a persuasive argument to your constituents, because you've already put this on the table, this ordinance and this fee. And so we thank you for that, and really appreciate the reference to the tribe and the ordinance and treaty resources. But the letter is really about the pushback that you may face. And we've been at other public hearings in specifically I've been in ones in Thurston County where the pushback is really strong from the public on these kinds of fees. So you're going to face a tough sell. You may, especially even just every 5 years as you consider it again, you're going to face pushback. But I'm going to just read one paragraph from our letter that is trying to be persuasive towards your constituents. And that is that this ordinance includes a fee, and your constituents who they ask for extreme prudence with taxpayer money, as they should. With only that expectation, this fee is a tough sell. Yeah, FedEx would knock on my door right now. This fee is a tough sell with the expectation of just extreme prudence with taxpayer money. Yet you are responsible for considering the environmental consequences of not having a sustainable clean water program in Mason County. And those consequences are an endless cycle of beach closures, expensive and cumbersome efforts to reopen beaches, lost opportunity for your residents. And what we mean by lost opportunity is lost jobs, lost income, lost reassurance that clams and oysters that residents pick off their beaches are safe to eat, and a lost reputation of Mason County as a haven for clean shellfish for visitors from all over. So, and then of course, lost treaty resources. So while your constituents may refuse that fee, even as their quality of life is degraded, public health, a thriving natural resource economy, and treaty resources is still all of our responsibility. So that's my persuasive effort to your constituents who are not necessarily going to be supportive of this. Other than that, we appreciate that to have this go on. We look forward to consistent efforts by the county that come from this funding, and I thank you for letting me speak today.
Thank you, Erica. Is there anybody else? Bill, I see your hand is up. Is that from the past, or did you want to speak? Thank you. Okay, with that, is there anybody else who would like to testify on this proposal? Please raise your hand. If you cannot raise your hand and you would still like to testify or ask questions, I'm going to give you an opportunity now to unmute yourself. Please say your name and I will call on you at that time. If there's anybody who would like to testify, I ask that you please say your name and I will give you an opportunity to testify. Hearing none, we will close public testimony now and move to commissioner deliberations and or a motion.
Here.
Where?
We received a letter.
Do you have some that written testimony that need to be read into the record?
Yes.
Please, go ahead.
Haley Hargath from Hood Canal Coordinating Council sent in a letter of support. And then Constance from Lower Hood Canal Watershed Coalition sent in proposed amendments to the ordinance. And those are the only two I received.
Thank you. One more time then for the public. If there's anybody who would like to testify after hearing that, please unmute yourself and say your name so that I can call on you. Hearing none, the public testimony is closed and we are on commissioner deliberation and or motion. Commissioners?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a couple of comments in deliberation before we move to a potential motion. First off, just an incredible amount of thanks to Alex and staff over at Environmental Health. For a long time, they've had to do a lot of work with a very shoestring budget. And as Alex mentioned in his staff report, being exclusively grant funded has meant that they've hopped from one crisis to the next without having a comprehensive water quality approach in the county. And so one of the things that I'm most excited about with this proposal is that we would be able to consolidate our efforts into one clean water district versus having 7 separate processes happening throughout the county. Clean water is critical, not just from an economic standpoint or a health standpoint, but it's also critical to our recreation economy. And yesterday we had an opportunity to hear about plans that are intended to bring more people to Mason County. And so we need to be prepared to address the water quality needs of today and tomorrow. And I think this plan moves us in that direction. And so Just wanted to say thanks to Alex. I'm very supportive of this. It's been a long time coming. Even back when I first came on the commission in 2017, Alex's predecessor, Debbie Riley, had been a strong champion for this work and a proposal along these lines for a number of years as part of her career here at Mason County. And though it's taken a long time to get this in front of the commission and get us to this point, there's a lot of people in the community who persevered. We've had chances to serve on the Hood Canal Coordinating Council and know how important this piece is to the work that they're doing in the Hood Canal watershed broadly. Having served on the Alliance for a Healthy South Sound, we know how critical it is to the health of Puget Sound as well. And so there's a number of people in our region who are looking to Mason County as a leader. And this is a policy that backs that standing up. And I appreciate everybody's effort and perseverance in getting us to this point. And appreciate the commissioner's work on this. We had, I think, a lot of really good deliberations over a period of several months, a couple of years even, going back and forth on this and working through some of the legal aspects of it, working through some of the policy aspects of it, and really appreciate Commissioners Trask and Netherland being committed to having an open and honest dialogue about this as we work through this process, and just couldn't be more appreciative of your efforts on it. Thank you.
Just real quick, I'd like to comment as well and thank Alex and Ian and everyone that have that's helped me understand more about how important this is. Part of the Oakland Bay Clean Water Committee, and what an education you receive when you are a part of committees and you understand and start to really see the importance of having clean water. Shellfish is a big producer in our community. It brings in tourists. It brings in numerous amounts of money and employs so many of our people. So it's all around. It's very important. So to Bill, I'd like to say, absolutely, being transparent and open to the public is so important, and so I want to make sure that we are being very transparent. So thank you for those comments, and again, thanks to Alex and his staff, and also I know it was reviewed by our prosecutor's office and by Tim, and so appreciate him as well. And like Commissioner Schutte, I do appreciate our very lively dialogue at times.
Again, Alex, I'll start by thanking you as well. You were able to shepherd this through to where it is actually coming to fruition. You know, I served as a past chair of the Hood Canal Coordinating Council and the Alliance of Healthy South Sound. This is something I've wanted from the beginning, but I'm also the one that has kind of been trying to stand in the way of it, because in my opinion, in the beginning, it was out of control. When it first started, we were well over $100 per parcel back then, with no cap on it or anything. Water quality is important, and PIC program, being able to identify the pollution when it happens, has been a fantastic tool that has allowed us to stop things before they get out of control, rather than trying to do cleanup after the fact. With the comments that were made by Erica, you're right, there are people that are going to be upset about this, but again, I want them to know that this was well thought out by the commission. This is a controlled and a restricted use and amount, where, as I said, it started out way above, then it dropped down to $40 per parcel. Now you're looking at $5.06 with a sunset to make sure that it's done and used in the right manner. I think that is fiscally responsible. I think that the commission did an incredible job on doing only what's necessary, not everything they could get. With that being said, I think this is a great investment and easily worth the amount that we're going to be paying for what we're getting for it, not just for the shellfish industry, but for all of Mason County. And I want to remind everybody that this is the commission that also did not raise taxes this last year. So we take every single fee or tax very, very seriously. You show me other areas where they didn't raise taxes. This one is important, and the amount is the smallest amount we could pull off and still get the job done. Thank you to the commission for being fiscally responsible and putting this forward, and to the community. If you want to be mad, I can understand that, but I can assure you that this is well done and affordable with what we're going to benefit from it. So with that, I would sure entertain a motion if somebody's want to put one forward.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the ordinance with code changes creating a Mason County Clean Water District and a sustainable financing mechanism as presented.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded to create the clean water mechanism with financing here, with the additions that were mentioned by the commission earlier, to include changing and including the Squaxin Island tribe, and the request from Commissioner Schutte requiring revenue and reauthorization words included. Am I explaining that correctly?
Correct.
Okay. With that being said, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further comment? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries, and this hearing is closed. Next. Item number 10.2, public hearing to amend the 2021 annual construction program. Staff, Mike Collins.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning.
I will go over this in kind of general, and then if anybody needs some specifics, we can get into the weeds. This is a request to amend the annual and 6-year transportation program. This came about because of the start of this, where it came about was an emergency culvert replacement. Basically, we're going to add 3 culvert projects to the construction, and then we're going to remove 2 culverts from construction. And then we're going to adjust some county forces reporting on our gravel roads. Overall, that'll increase the annual budget by about $300,000 by shifting some of this projects around. But this culvert is very important for about 12 to 15 residents, and it's going to have to come out of the roads monies itself. There's no grant for the Homer Adams culvert. With that, if there's any questions.
Is there, Commissioners, do you have any questions for staff before I allow public to ask questions?
I do not.
Nothing from me.
If you are in the public and you have a question for staff, this is going to be your opportunity to ask a question regarding their proposal and what they put forward. I ask that you please raise your hand and I will call on you. Seeing no hands raised, I'll ask if there's anybody in the public who would like to ask a question. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself and announce your name. I'll call on you. Hearing none, we will move to public testimony. Is there any public in the, is there any public in that would like to testify on this issue? I don't see any public right now. I see one. If you'd like to testify on this issue, I'll ask you to unmute, say your name, and I'll give you an opportunity to testify. Is there any public who would like to testify? Hearing none, I will close public testimony and move to Commissioner deliberations and or a motion.
Mr. Chair, I recommend the Board of Commissioners approve to amend the 2021 annual construction program.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve and amend the 2021 annual construction program. Any comments? All of,
Oh,
Please.
sorry, just real quick, want to thank staff. There's a lot to this, and they put a lot of time and energy into this, so I want to appreciate them, or show my appreciation to them for all of their hard work.
I agree. Any further comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. That hearing is closed. Next up, public hearing to amend the 2021 through 2026 6-year transportation improvement program. Staff, Mike Collins.
Yes, Commissioner, amendment to the 6-year transportation program would be exactly the same as reflecting the annual program. So there wouldn't be any additional changes.
Are there any questions from the public regarding the testimony or the proposal put forward by staff? If there is, unmute yourself, please. Say your name and I'll give you an opportunity to speak. Hearing none, Commissioners, do you have any questions for staff?
Do not.
Hearing none, we will open public testimony. Is there anybody in the public who would like to testify on this issue? If so, please unmute yourself, say your name, and I will give you an opportunity to speak.
Jeff Carey.
Yes, Jeff, we'll call on you, please.
Yes, this is Jeff Carey. I serve as the vice chair of the TIPCAP committee. And the TIPCAP committee back in April, and I think also in late March or in March also, went through this list and deliberated on the different projects. The most contentious one of the group, and it wasn't really contentious, but the one that was discussed fairly heavily was item number, I think it was number 5, Sunny Slope Road, from request of the residents and what have you. But after much deliberation, it was still discussed and voted on to proceed to, the Public Works would proceed on resurfacing that road.
Are you saying it was unanimous at that time?
My recollection, yes.
Thank you. Is there any other testimony that you'd like to give, Jeff?
No, that's just the TIPCAP's doing their thing and trying to get, stay on top of these things. Thank you.
Please give our thanks to TIPCAP. Is there anybody else in the public who would like to testify on this issue? Please unmute yourself, say your name, and I will give you an opportunity to speak. Hearing none, we will close public testimony and move to commissioner deliberation and/or a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the amendments to the 2021-2026 6-year transportation improvement program as presented.
I'll second.
It has a move and second for the approval of the amended 2021 to 2026 6-year transportation program improvement program as amended. Any further discussion? Again, just thank you to everybody, including our TIPCAP committee. Commissioner Trask, please.
That's what I was going to say. Thanks.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. The hearing is closed. Next up is item number 11, our board calendar reports. Commissioner Trask, if you would go first, please. Commissioner Schutte, and then myself.
Thank you, Commissioner. So it's always busy and fun this time of year, right? This afternoon, we have our a KMB jail study meeting. Tomorrow is our EOC meeting. It's also the AWB spring meeting, which is all virtual. I have an MTA pre-agenda meeting, social services task force meeting. I have a courthouse security meeting, a local emergency planning meeting, also a federal issues with Washington Association of Counties. And then we have a DNR beneficiary meeting. My goodness. Then there's a Value of Water campaign meeting, having lunch with Kristen with PUD1, a Pack Mountain meeting. And moving on to next week, there we have an ARPA, which is the American Rescue, the new funding program given to us by the federal government. We have a WASAC virtual assembly meeting, Community Action Council meeting. There's also the Belfair EIS meeting Monday night. I have a women's conference, participating with the EDC on that, Mason Transit Authority Board meeting, another EOC meeting, Turning Point Board meeting, and then we have our briefing, county briefing. Every Monday is the WASAC virtual assembly meeting, so let's just throw that out there. KMB jail meeting, Community Action Council again, the Mason County GOP meeting. And then we're back here on Tuesday for the commission meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, so just a couple of quick items. I'm going to be out of town for a good portion of the next week or so. Do have a MaceCon meeting, have a check-in with Coordinated Entry Advisory Group for our homelessness and housing programs. Also have MaceCom negotiations and my regular check-in with the Army Corps. Also have my check-in with the BHASO staff leadership there. And then I will be participating in the jail study on the 24th. And then have a meeting with the EDC as well.
Thank you. Okay, so the past weeks here, Area Command, Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization, several times met with the Executive Director of the EDC, North Mason Chamber of Commerce trustee meeting, the Cemetery Board, briefings, our Left Board meeting, Mason County Housing Authority, our jail needs study briefings. We had some closed executives. And then coming up this next week, I also will be at the Belfort EIS meeting, another Area Command, EDC meeting, their Legislative Steering Committee. At least will probably be on at least one of the WASAC virtual meetings. We have a KMB jail needs study that we'll be attending, Olympic Regional Clean Air Authority meeting, the EDC Board of Directors meeting. I will be the keynote speaker for the Scottish Rite Scholarship Foundation meeting here in Bremerton. Briefings, Mason Transit Authority, North Mason Chamber of Commerce again, Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization again for their state audit entrance, another KMB jail, and that brings us back to our regular meetings and we start all over again. With that said, is there anything further? If not, I would entertain a motion because we were at the end of our agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we adjourn. Any comment? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Week.